Hey everybody, hey, we are getting started. Welcome to the Adjuster Checkup, our weekly guidance session. So we're going to start checking in with y'all every week, seeing how you doing, giving tips, because there's a lot going on in the industry right now. And I want to make sure that all the TPAS adjusters are abreast of what is happening out there in the streets. We'll also use this opportunity to give little company updates and things and progress reports and let you all know what we got going on and what we are doing. So if you don't catch the live, it's okay, because we'll be back next week. Plus, I'm sure once this is over, it can be replayed. All right. So I don't want these sessions to go longer than 30 minutes. Hold on. I got to get to my notes. Let me pull up my notes. Let me put up my notes. All right. What date am I looking for? Oh, today's the 23rd. Okay. Got my notes out. See, I got it. I'll give y'all a few more minutes while I'm pulling these notes up, and then we just gonna go through it. Who is here, who isn't, but that's okay. Checking up, adjuster checkup. We're gonna call this an adjuster checkup. All right, so also, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. I will try to answer any questions that you have as you are on this adjuster journey. All right. We're going to call this episode 1. Okay. Let's talk about order of business, the current storms that are out right now. Let's start up. Welcome to the TPAS Adjuster Checkup, our weekly guidance session where we are going to be checking in every week and talking about updated industry news. We're going to talk about what's going on in the weather. We're going to give tips and hints and whatever information that we can give, that I can give, to you. So that you can get in front of a deployment opportunity, right? Because that's really why we're doing this. So we can go out there and help people. All right. So checking in on the weather. So we had, I think it was Hillary. Was it Hillary that was supposed to be hitting California? Hillary has been downgraded. She was downgraded to, I think, a tropical storm. She didn't really cause, not that I have been able to get feedback on. I didn't see where she had caused any damage as far as a lot of wind damage, which most of you all who are starting off in insurance adjusting, you went to a licensing class, probably ours, and you're still, trying to figure out how the industry works, the ebbs and the flows, how to go after the deployment opportunities. One, how to go after them when the season is at its peak and everything is, going very well. Well, I shouldn't say very well, going bad weather-wise, but well for us. It's weird to talk about because you don't wish for destruction. Okay, you don't. But just like there needs to be a doctor there to set a leg back in place if you break it. Okay, you need adjusters to handle these claims. So the first thing that you're usually looking at is the active storm season. Now, so there are 2 disturbances right now in the Eastern Pacific. Right now, only one of them's got a 40% chance of development. Another one has a 20% chance of development. Nothing there. But what's exciting this particular hurricane season about right now is the Eastern Pacific is usually quiet. Usually Okay, on average, a lot more quiet than the Atlantic. All right. So to me, it's a little bit of, gives me a little bit of pause, and I want to pay attention when I see one disturbance that just got downgraded, but now two more are right behind it. We don't know what direction they're going in just yet, but we'll keep a close eye on that. And then in the Atlantic, which is where most of our storms that hit the U.S. come from, right now we've got Franklin out there. It is a tropical storm. It has been named. It is right now heavy rainfall from Franklin is expected across much of Hispaniola into Thursday, which is expected to produce significant and potentially life-threatening flash and urban flooding, as well as mudslides, particularly over the central Dominican Republic. So that's where it is right now. It's going to make its way close to Turks and Caicos Island tonight as well. So then there was something else that came right before Franklin that was doing some stuff. There's a lot of rainfall going on right now. We don't know which way they're predicting right now that Franklin's going to turn up. And I right now they just got to kind of making a backwards turn a little bit, kind of going like this and then coming straight up. So we don't know what Franklin's going to do. And then there's two other disturbances out there as well. One has a 70% chance of development coming off the coast of Africa. One has 20% chance of development. That 70% chance one, they did say that they think that the season is going to be way more active this year because the ocean water has heated up a lot. So that's where we are with that. Okay, I know you guys may not be as interested in the weather and geeky about the weather as I am, but this is part of being an adjuster. You turn into like a little mini meteorologist, okay, like a garage meteorologist at best. So with that though, where I want to bring that in relation to with what Hillary has done, what's going on in regards to the wildfires, what's going on in regards to, and I'm not just talking about wildfires that's here in the States, I'm also talking about the wildfires that's going on in Canada as well, or that has just taken place in Canada. So you might be looking like there's a lot of rainfall, you haven't seen necessarily a lot of tornado outbreaks or like windstorms, okay? Not on a major scale. And so you may think, well, maybe this isn't your season. I got an alternative for you. One of the things that I wanted to talk to folks about is what can you do in your downtime? All right. We talk a lot about getting in front of those adjuster and those deployment opportunities, but what can you do in your downtime? One of the things that I suggest that you look into in your downtime, and let me write it down so that I can put it in the chat, because I was just actually talking to one of my people about this, and I was like, you got to get on it. And what was it again? Oh, yeah. So you might want to look into, I think they call it. Yeah. So you might want to look into the adjusting skill can also be used across other industries. Some people have taken the appraisal route. All right. Some people have taken that knowledge about insurance adjusting and used that over in the real estate arena. Another area that you can look into is being a inspector for FEMA. You can also look into doing property inspections for, I'll do FEMA this week. We'll talk about the other option next week because I'm still getting some more information on that. So FEMA right now, again, when you're having heavy flooding, heavy rains that's leading to flooding, you might not be 4 years in the game yet, and you may not be able to get your flood adjuster certification. So now you're in the middle. You're like, dang, I want to work, but how can I take advantage? I can't work flood right now, right? Because even the apprentice programs that the IA firms have, there's not enough room for everybody. So try to be a FEMA inspector. Look into that. Two companies that FEMA use for their field inspections when we have these disasters, because what happens, people ask for FEMA trailer, people ask for disaster assistance from FEMA, so forth and so on. And when that happens, when those applications are filed, somebody has to come out to the home to inspect the damage. So in that particular case, the two companies that FEMA has contracts with and that they use is Vanguard.com. I am going to put that in the chat right now. Vanguard.com, or Vanguard is the name. You know what? I don't know what Vanguard's formal, I'll take that back. I don't know Vanguard's formal web address. So let me look at that. Vanguard, is it disaster? I have no idea. I just know Vanguard. And I know I've gone through a process with them. Disaster assistance or whatever. Let me find out. That's what their formal name. Their formal name is Vanguard Inspection Services. And they do have a website that you can go to apply to become and start the process to be a inspector for FEMA. That website is Vanguard. Oh, Lord. Vanguard. What is that? Okay. Vanguard, his.com/recruiting. All right. I'm going to copy and paste and put this in the chat. How about that? So when you're in between jobs, you can't work the flood jobs, right? You don't have enough experience to be flood certified yet because you don't have 4 years in. All right. This is a solution for you. So let me go on here and look and see. I'm going to post it here in the chat. I'm going to log in to Facebook from my laptop and then connect to. Oh, Lord, I'm going everywhere but right. I'm going every which way but right. Hold on. Pause for the cause, y'all. Pause for the cause. I'm here. I'm with it. So I'm giving you all tips. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Doing our adjuster weekly check-in. This is a new thing that we're going to be doing every week, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We're going to check in, see how you all are doing, provide industry updates, give tips and hints. And this week, we're talking about other things that you can do as an adjuster where you're kind of, that's linear to what we do, but not necessarily working for an IA firm or an insurance carrier. And that is being a FEMA inspector. And they do need inspectors. And what's the cool thing about being an inspector for FEMA? Once you get on there, it may take a bit of a process getting on board. So again, don't know if you'll be able to take advantage of the flood opportunities that are out there right now. California just got a bunch of water dumped on. It's been a lot of water everywhere. We've been getting a lot of rain, not necessarily wind, to get those structural adjusters out there. Really only the flood adjusters. And flood adjusters is a tight-knit group. They're a tight-knit group. However, there's things that you can do outside of that. So get with two vendors that FEMA uses, actually the only two that FEMA uses for their inspection services. One being Vanguard Inspection Services. And actually, I found the link here. So now let me connect and get it into the chat so that you all don't have to just do all the mess that I just had to do searching for it. There we go. The other one is WSP USA, and I think they are inspection services as well. So WSP USA here, I'm putting this in the chat. Vanguard for Vanguard, and then let's put in WSP USA. They are another vendor that FEMA uses for their inspections when you have, yep, there it is. You know what's so crazy? WSP is a engineering company at its core. Engineering and design. So you got to ask yourself, when it comes to these government contracts, how is a company like that, how are they doing inspection services for FEMA, right? There it is, WSP Inspection Services. That is correct. Okay, so I just found their link to become an inspector. I found the link for that. Again, each one of these companies are the only two that FEMA uses for their inspections. It's a great side, once you get on board, it's a great side gig to have something else to do. Another way to hustle and get your money on, you know what I'm saying? While you're in between gigs, in between inspections, whatever the case, not in between inspections. I probably wouldn't recommend doing, because you would have to switch hats, right? You'd have to put on your FEMA hat, then take that off, put your adjuster hat on, but I'll let that up to your discretion, okay? However, if you're looking for work and you need something else to get into that can get you an opportunity to make money, again, have freedom of schedule, so forth and so on, because if they send you something and you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, right? It's just another option out there that's for you, okay? Does anybody have any questions? So that's what I have for my little tip today, which is FEMA inspections is something that you can do in between adjuster gigs, can keep you busy, and you usually can. Sometimes, depending on where the work is, you might have opportunities to work from home doing that as well. It could also lead to opening up other opportunities to work for FEMA under those companies. Just depends on how you put yourself out there and how you shine, okay? Does anyone have anybody have any questions? Do I have any newbies on here? Let me see. I don't know. Are there comments coming through? Because, okay, I can see comments. Any questions? Throw something at me, anything. Are you new to the game? You're trying to break through. You're trying to figure something out. You just got licensed. And I'll give you the spiel that I give everyone who just went through the licensing process. Let's say you went through the whole thing. You took the exam. You passed. You got your fingerprints done. You filled out your application. You have your license. Chantel says, I'm new. Hi, Chantel. Well, welcome. Welcome to the wonderful world of insurance. Chantel, did we talk on the phone? I feel like I talked to somebody by the name of Chantel, but I might be tripping. But I will say this. Starting off, hey, baby. Okay, your hi is just now coming through. Starting off, if you've gone to class and you have not finished the application process, please finish the application process. You did the first bunch of hard work, right? Getting through the licensing class, passing that exam. You did that. Get the license, finish the process. Unfortunately, we are in an industry that has a high turnover rate. So a lot of people come in, but a lot of people also leave. Okay. I haven't yet. Okay. You haven't, did you go to class or you just haven't, finished your application process? Let me know. Yeah, so finish it. If you haven't finished the application process, finish the application process. You may feel a little intimidated by it. Life may even get in the way. Just do your best to stay focused. The cool thing is you do have a year usually from when you take the class to when you can, is the latest you can turn in an application. You don't want to take that long though. If you can help it, you don't want to take that long, okay? I get it. Sometimes things happen. And depending on what state you took your class for, Texas, Georgia, Florida, whatever, just finish the process. That's my number one advice. Number two is, now that you finish the process, is get on the rosters. I need to get fingerprinted. Okay. So yes, finish your process, get your fingerprint on in Texas. Yes. Okay. And even if you are out of the state of Texas, if you, when you go to register for your fingerprints, you can tell Identico on your application, you can tell Identico that, you want it for another state or another address. It does cost a little bit more if you're getting fingerprinted out of the state of Texas versus inside of the state of Texas borders. However, I think it's $40 if you're getting it done at a facility in Texas. I think it's like $82, or I'm rounding, but about $82 if it's going to be fingerprints that you're getting for Texas, but you're getting them done at a facility out of the state of Texas. So yes, but I know it's a lot of budgeting. Starting off is a couple of $100 for class. Then you got fingerprints. Then the licensing fee is like, I think Texas licensing is $50, but you got to do it through Circon NIPR. And they got another $12, $15 of processing fees. So yes, you're probably looking at what, another $130, $150. No, not even that. Because if it's 80 and then 50, 60. My math is all off, but y'all know what I'm saying. 30, 40, about 125, 130, somewhere around there. Okay. You're welcome, darling. So yes, but get through the process. That's number one, because you're not going to be able to take advantage of the opportunities until you get the license. But what you can do though, even before you have the license, now that you've gone through the course, go ahead and go to Vanguard.com, go to WSP USA, whatever the two sites I put in there above, and start the process also for filling out your application for FEMA, okay, and getting on FEMA and being a FEMA inspector. They may want you to do something like get a FEMA number, but I think when you go through their process, like they help you through that, getting like a FEMA number in order to do work for FEMA under them. All right. So you can still work on that because that doesn't require you technically to be a licensed adjuster to do that work. Now, you being a licensed adjuster and having that experience, it makes you look better. It makes you look more appealing. So, for instance, when we had our flood here last year, I had to have FEMA inspectors out. And that's what the lady, she was like, oh, because I was walking her through all the damages and everything. And she's, oh, what do you do? And I told her. And so she was like, you could do this. And because you've been doing insurance adjusting, and we know through insurance adjusting, you guys have to learn about structure and all this kind of stuff. So since you all know that, then, you know, when you put your application in, they're going to process it fast. That's what she told me. I still have not done it. I need to do it too. Do I need to be certified? No, you actually to be a FEMA inspector, all you have to do is go through their process. You don't have to have any additional certifications, anything of that sort. Of course, they're going to use people and bring people on who have more because they are looking for people who have more experience in construction and things like that. So, and you're going to need that anyway, to do this job. Even if you never decide to be, for instance, a field adjuster, you're still going to need to know and have knowledge of structure, right? Of structural components and how things are built and things like that. So what I would say is also in the meantime, I got homework for you, girl. So what I would also say is in the meantime, while what's going on with your fingerprints, I don't know if you're waiting on your appointment, you need to save up a couple of coins to get it's okay. Because in the meantime, you can apply for Vanguard, you can apply for WSP. And while you waiting to go through that little process with them, right, you can go to the library, start pulling up books on construction, so forth and so on. Go on YouTube, start getting yourself educated, pull up some of these contractors' YouTube pages and watch them replace a roof. Watch them replace a window. Watch them remodel a house. I used to watch HGTV like it was going out of style back in the day. I still do, actually. So you can still keep yourself kind of in the zone and learning while you're waiting, because you're going to prepare. This is all about preparing yourself so that when the opportunity does come and knock on your door, you can answer it and walk right through that thing. Okay. So that's what this is all about. Yes, you are a blessing. I'm all ears. Okay. Thank you. All right. This is knowledge I always give out. So yeah, I want to make sure that our folks know about it. You guys are reminded about what's going on, and that we're here as a resource for you, because that's what we created this for. All right. So yes. So you got homework for sure. Apply for Vanguard and WSP. Go ahead and whatever you got to do, go to youenrollidentical.com, set up your appointment. Okay. Next time you get paid, whatever the case may be, set it up for payday, set it up for the day after payday, whatever. Right. And then in the meantime, because you're going to apply for Vanguard and WSP, and it may be a while for them to get back with you. Okay. That's what I mean when I say the process may take a while. So while you're waiting on their reply, right, don't sit there twiddling your thumbs. That's when you can now start getting that construction knowledge if you don't already have it, right? See if there's a Habitat for Humanity project coming up in your area that you can volunteer for, where you can go out and actually help put a house together, okay? And then I actually have something. This is here in St. Louis, Chantel. I take it you're in Texas. But there was one of my students that I said the same thing to, and he was able to find a construction apprenticeship program here in St. Louis, because he was like, man, I don't know enough about construction. And he found a construction apprenticeship program here in St. Louis, and as a result, he signed up for that program. He passed it, excelled in it. He ends up on his journey to become an adjuster. He's now a building inspector for the city. So just by coming to the class, and he still finishes adjuster's license. He still keeps up with his CEs every 2 years, and he still renews it every 2 years, because he's like, I'm doing this building inspector thing, and I'm getting paid. I'm at home. I'm able to stay with my kids. He was like, but at the same time, I do want to still be an adjuster, so I'm going to keep my license going so that when I am ready, I could just pop over and I don't even have to start over from scratch or whatever. So yeah, so there's all this. It's so many different paths that you can take. It's so many different ways you can go when you are doing this. So the possibilities are infinite. Okay. So yeah, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you, Chantel, for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I'm glad that I was able to help. So now you have a game plan moving forward. All right. Now you know what you got to do. You got work to do big time. Okay. All right. So you got any more questions for me before I let you go? We at our 30 minute mark. No, I appreciate you. Thank you so. Okay. You are very, very welcome. That's what we're here for, to be of service. All right, then. Well, I will see you next week. I am expecting some kind of progress report. Chantel, you better let me know what had happened, girl, and what you up to, because now I'm invested. You got me. I'm over here. Look, I'm finna write your name down right now. Yes, girl. Chantel is on the move, and she is ready. Chantel McMorris. All right. Give it up for Chantel McMorris. She is ready for it. She about to get her fingerprints. She's about to get signed up for Vanguard and WSP USA inspection so she can be eligible to be a FEMA inspector. She's going to get her construction knowledge up. All right. All right then, Miss Chantel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next week, and everybody else, if anybody sees this on the replay. And if anyone sees this on the replay and you have some questions, something I said sparked the question, put it here in the comments and I'll answer it next week. All right. She said, I'm about to do that right now and apply. Okay. Yes, Chantel, let's get it done. All right. I'll see you next week. Y'all have a good night. Bye. Ha 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 ha.